Jimmy, let's talk about Jamaica, Canada. I couldn't wait. I was distracted earlier. I was afraid you were going to give me all the gold off the top, and I wanted our faithful fans to have to just like wait a little bit longer. Give them the good stuff first, and then we're going to give them the good stuff second.
So I want to start off by saying that Canada got an away point versus Mexico for the first time, or for the third time ever, but for the first time since 1980. And I can't say enough about this Canadian team. As I mentioned before, about their commitment and belief. They also have the talent to go along with it. And when they get the results, their confidence is going to grow and grow. And you were talking about Brendan Aronson there, about getting more comfortable and all that. Every time I watch Brendan Aronson play, he seems to be more and more confident in who he is and that he deserves to play for the national team and be an important player for us. And that's so vital in terms of us having success as a group when you have enough players that are feeling that way about themselves and where they fit in. And that really speaks to the culture. With that, I think John Hertzman has put in place with Canada. Conversely, with Jamaica, they're just all over the place. They didn't really look all that threatening. And when they do, they look a little disjointed. It feels very individualistic in terms of how they're going to create their opportunities. There's not a lot of combination play. It's like, let's put it in a good area and hope we get a second ball or something falls our way or whip it in the box. They're always going to be decent on set pieces, but I worry about Jamaica a little bit. And if they lose this game at home, I think they're done. And for me, if Canada really wants to put their flag in the ground going, we are qualifying for this World Cup. We don't hope, we are. They got to go down and get all 3 points here. Because it almost feels like if they lose to Jamaica away, it's not that they wasted that 1 point against Mexico. That was still valuable because Mexico couldn't gain on any ground on them either. But it does feel like, oh, what did we just do against Mexico if we lost to this Jamaica team? So I feel like Canada's going to go at them. I don't think they're going to let up. I think you're going to see their best lineup. And I think this is going to be a Canada win, frankly.
Yeah, I agree with that in terms of 3 points for Canada. They've just got too many ways in which they can play now, right? We saw when Canada is disciplined and willing to fight. And again, I go back to that stupid stereotype of everyone in this summer making fun of the coach for saying we're playing it like a cup final or we're playing it like a tournament final for every game in the Gold Cup. And there was just the mentality that I think they built into this team with a depleted roster and these different guys. And we saw when they played their first game against Honduras, they thought they were a little bit better than they were in terms of their need to fight for space on the field, right? They had a bunch of big players and they seemed to sort of think that they could just play through everything because they have the quality to do so.
Right.
But then I think they got a little bit of a gut punch that told them like, hey, no. Again, similar to the U.S., you got all the quality in the world. You got all the quality to qualify, but your mentality has to be first. And I think they were quick to figure that out and saying, we got to scrap and fight and we got to be disciplined. And then the rest will happen. And they have the ability to build up. Like you said, possession against Mexico, they have the ability to connect passes together through their midfield and break down lines and through possession. But they also have the ability to spring forward quickly and hit you with a 1-2 punch that has them now in front of goal creating chances with Jonathan David, with Alphonso Davies, with Tejan Buchanan. I mean, those are three of what I think would be a top 10 players in CONCACAF now in your front line, attacking, running at you. And of course, all those players don't want to just sit in the counterattack system all day long, but it just shows you the versatility and the ways in which they can beat you, makes it harder to prepare against, right? You sit back deep and they could probably break you down. You press them high and they can play more direct. And I think that's hard to stop. And if you're Jamaica, it's just about neutralizing, again, that speed and transition that they do have. And, with the side that Jamaica just looks a little bit defeated, a little bit confused, a little bit like kind of like we almost had a great team here. If some circumstances were different, COVID, I think is the number one factor.
No fans either in this one. They're not allowed to have fans in this one. So it's going to be difficult. I'll just jump in and say what I also enjoy about Canada. And we've seen it before. We played against them before, Heath. They were always tough to break down, but you knew at some point there was going to be something that you could poke a hole in, right? They were vulnerable in some area. And could they manage that stout defensive posture for 90 minutes? And we knew back in the day that they couldn't, that at some point there was going to be a breakdown and we have to exploit that breakdown. And once you score or get a good opportunity, you could see them start to doubt themselves. And then we would gain confidence in that. And then we'd end up winning 1-0, 2-0, whatever it is. This Canada team defensively are so good and they fight and they scrap in a way that maybe I haven't seen them do consistently. We've seen it in game, right? For 45 minutes, 50 minutes, but for like 90 minutes, these guys are a pain in the ass to play against. And Mexico just learned that the hard way. We learned it the hard way in the first qualifying window. So there's a lot of elements on both sides of the ball that I really like about this Canadian team. I said they were going to qualify, before this whole thing started, and I think I haven't changed my mind by any stretch. In fact, I've just gained more confidence in that prediction.